What is up, people? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I'm not wearing pants. In case you wanted to know, I've told that'll get me more subscribers, so subscribe! Tonight we're doing the stand-up. In case you're new to this particular show, the stand-up is where is a general meeting in Scrum where we stand up and we talk about three particular questions, and that is, what have we accomplished? What are we currently working on? And then what is holding us back? And so tonight we are hoping to answer these questions about our current community, our secular community, our American community, just our global community, our humankind community, I guess. And so, as you can tell, first up is the NCAA. This would fall under the what have we accomplished? Our human. And but first, beforehand, I would love to say hello to Jeremy, and I think the default is in there. Caitlin, she's awesome. She has helped me get these stories ready, so please give her a round of applause. There's Ant in B, Freed Jen, Chronos Dark. And I would love to. I just love that you guys are here, and I can't wait to see what y'all's thoughts are on the particular issues that I picked for today. But first, we have the NCAA. The NCAA has decided that cities and states in which that pass these laws that are very anti-LGBTQ, basically just discriminatory laws, they're not going to be visiting those cities. And this has a very, very large impact because, I mean, come on, we're in America. I mean, just think about it. I mean, like half of America is some kind of sports freak. And that's not to speak negatively of it. I'm not a sports freak, but I think that such a large, organization standing up against discriminatory laws is such an awesome thing to see. And this follows suit with a lot of other with a lot of other companies that are doing the exact same thing, basically saying we're going to take our business away from discriminatory states and cities. One of the biggest ones has been PayPal. PayPal, decided not to give business to North Carolina because of their discriminatory law. And so it just comes in a long line of them. Back when the Georgia was having their law about to be passed, because it was up to the governor whether or not to sign it into law. A lot of companies went in and said that they weren't going to bring business to Georgia, and that's a pretty big hit. When you start fucking with people's money, they start paying attention and listening. I'll tell you that right now. Because I mean, what's more important in a capitalist society? It's definitely not taking care of the people. But I think that this is an awesome move by the NCAA. It's an awesome move by all the companies that have decided to not bring their business to a certain area. Now, if you guys know of a certain pastor, Pastor Locke, he calls this bullying. And I would completely disagree with the fact that it's bullying, or with the idea that it's bullying. It is, in fact, not bullying. Whether or not you want to bring your business to a certain area, it's totally up to you. And whatever reason you want to not stay out of an area, totally up to you. Now, it's really funny how when Hobby Lobby, the Hobby Lobby decision was going on, the Christian right was of course up on their high horse, and they were like, "Fine, boycott. We don't care." And there was that woman who posed for that picture out in front of Hobby Lobby that was like, "How to explode liberals' minds," and she was holding a Chick-fil-A cup and standing in front of a Hobby Lobby with I don't know what kind of fucking shirt on. But I find it funny how the tables have turned, and all of a sudden now they're being bullied and persecuted just because of their Christian faith. let's get one thing straight. It's not because of your Christian faith. It's because you're dicks. And there's no easy way to put that. You're dicks. And apparently you want to see other people's dicks in order to make sure that they are going into the correct restroom. Now, something that's already been starting to happen is, there was, I don't know if you've been following the Facebook page at all, but there was a certain lesbian that was in a restroom, and she was actually escorted out of the restroom because she didn't have any kind of ID that stated that she was a female. And of course, the cops were very sexist and stated, "Oh, you don't look like a female, so therefore you don't belong in here, and you're a guy." And even resorted to calling them by very masculine pronouns like "sir," and "he" and whatnot. So just to take a quick second in here, let's see. Happy 63 Funny, urinals work very well for penises. Yeah. Kronos Dark says, speaking of corporations, failed CEO of HP, Carly Fiona, is Ted Cruz's running mate. Yeah, that's sure to get the most hated person in America elected. And I just this is a little off subject from NCAA, but Ted Cruz picking Carly Fiorina. Sorry, I'm horrible at pronouncing names at times, but him picking her is a lot like John McCain picking Sarah Palin. I think at this point that it's more to get the vote of the people that want to see a woman in the White House. And while I don't see any reason not to have a woman in the White House, I don't think Carly Fiorina is the person to put in there because of the fact that she thinks that faith makes better leaders. And that's just demonstrably false. To tie back into the NCAA issue and the transgender bathroom issue, a lot of faith-based leaders out there love to poke at little kids and love to molest them. And, it really does speak to the argument that these people like Pastor Greg Locke, probably Joshua Feuerstein. I haven't seen any of his videos lately about the issue, but I'm sure that he's against it. They're all concerned about children being molested in bathrooms because they think pedophiles are going to dress up as women, say they identify as a woman, and then go in the restroom and molest little kids. And I would like to say to all of those out there that use this argument that you're not fucking concerned with children. You don't give a shit about children. You're using children as a reason in order to push your bigoted agenda. That's what you're doing. You don't give a shit about children. I'll repeat it just to drive the point home. You don't give a shit. You know why you don't give a shit? Because you're going to let Hastert, the former Speaker of the House, he's only getting like 16, 15 months in jail because of some banking shit when he molested 2 boys. Okay, you don't give a shit about kids. You don't give a shit about kids because you're not concerned with the fucking pedophiles that are seeking these leadership positions in your churches, in your congregations. You don't give a shit about that. You actually make excuses for those kind of people. You say that, well, he's talked with God, he's gotten right with God, and so he's fine now. You make excuses for these people. You put the blame on the victims. That's what one person did here recently. He was making an excuse for hiring a sexual predator as part of his church. I guess business board or something like that. Anyways, the church, he hired him, and then he made excuses saying that a 13-year-old girl that had a knife held up to her face totally consented in the sex that happened right after that, and that she was not raped, that it takes 2 to tango. Well, you know what? If I was face to face with that guy, fuck you. That's what I would rub that like all in his face. You know that meme where you got the guy and he's like rubbing the finger all up in someone's face? I would literally do that to that motherfucker. That goes for Pastor Locke too. Pastor Locke, if you happen to be watching this shit, I think that you're a hypocritical bastard because you have decided that it's okay to hire a sexual predator that molested a 13-year-old girl as head of your youth group. You're fine with that, but you're not fine with transgender people using the correct restroom. So, you know what? Fuck you too. I hate people that are that hypocritical, that I mean, blatantly hypocritical, and then people support them. So, okay, so I've stood up on my I've stood up on my soapbox and flipped the finger to just about everybody now. So let's move on to the next one. Of course, the second question that we are here to talk about tonight is what have we accomplished? And we have accomplished something really great. And all of these stories are linked down below. As I've always said, and I will repeat at the end, don't take my word for it. Go down there, investigate for yourselves, and figure this shit out on your own and come to your own conclusions. I don't want you to come to my conclusions just because I say it. Come to your own conclusions. So, you may be wondering why I have doctors up here. Well, 41,000 doctors have joined in a lawsuit against a Catholic hospital over denial of care. This has been a rampant problem in our in our global society, if you will. Because if you guys don't remember, there was a young woman that was denied an abortion in, I believe it was Ireland or Scotland, one of those places. Forgive me because I'm butchering that, but there was a woman that was denied care at a Catholic hospital. She was denied an abortion, and it would have saved her life. But because it was a Catholic institution, they couldn't give her an abortion, and therefore she had to die. Now, there have been many politicians that have many different opinions over the abortion issue, but like I think the most memorable one is saying that a woman's body knows how to shut that shit down quick if it's a real rape. And oftentimes they like to blame the victim of a rape when they want to have an abortion. That's just one particular case, but you shouldn't need to be raped in order to get an abortion if that's what you need. Now, it's kind of been theorized a little bit that legalizing abortion has cut down on our crime rates because of the fact that people that are getting abortions are the ones that can't afford to have children. And I think that having these 41,000 doctors, levy a lawsuit against a Catholic hospital over denial of care is an awesome step forward. I don't know if it's going to succeed or not, but the fact that we have such a substantial force of our physicians in our country standing up against denial of care for religious reasons, I think is pretty awesome. And I think that it's something that we really need to throw our support behind. I think that we really need to get more doctors signing on to this. I think that we need to be fighting these kind of discriminatory and religious policies. If you're going to be a hospital that's supposed to provide services to the public in any capacity, you shouldn't be denying medical services that are completely legal here in America. And abortion is illegal. I know a lot of politicians right now are trying to make it illegal because they think that a group of cells that you cannot tell from a goddamn just other animal cell that's reproducing. The fact that they think that constitutes like a conscious being is totally fucking beyond me. Let's see. Jeremy says, doesn't that go against the Hippocratic Oath? You would think that it does, but as we all know, faith generally overrides a person's sense of actual care. like they don't give a shit. They really don't. They don't give a shit about the Hippocratic Oath. They may say that they do, but the pure fact that they're willing to suspend it in order to deny someone a life-saving procedure because of their faith, I don't think that should be their decision. I really don't. Let me know what you think. I think that it should be the patient's decision. If a patient is faced with either death or getting an abortion, and they're like, nope, I'm totally against abortion, I'll just die. I mean, that's their choice. That's their decision. I don't think that they should be forced into an abortion. Although I would heavily suggest that they get one and put away their faith in whatever the fuck they think. But I'm not going to sit there and force them, and I don't think that they should be forced. Let's see. We got BTI in the house as well as Kyle. And then Freed Jen says there are no laws condemning abortion in the Bible. No, there aren't any laws condemning abortion. They like to pull this from like a sense of all life is precious or something like that, and honestly, I don't. I think that all life is precious and whatnot. I really do, but at the same time, that's not life that can live on its own. Like the point at which abortion happens, that is it just simply can't live on its own. I mean, if something can live on its own, fine. But I also do, agree with the whole function of life on Earth. I value the circle of life, if you will, if you remember the Lion King song. Because I'm not against using cows for meat or using anything else for meat. I am definitely a meat eater. I will eat the fuck out of a steak. I actually have some leftover steak and more steak in the fridge right now that I can make. So I'm fine with meat. I'm fine with the function of it. I know what value meat has. Um And but all in all, I think that we need to get behind this. We need to push this as a positive thing, and we really just need to stand up and espouse the idea that discriminating based on your faith, which plays into both the NCAA story tonight and this one. Standing up and saying that we're not going to stand for discrimination based on religious faith is a very important thing that we need to be working on, and obviously there are a lot of people that are working on it. So yeah, but to move on to our last story for tonight, which is the headline story. Let's see. Before that, I would like to say hi to BTI in the comments, as well as Militant Anti-Theist. Thank you guys for showing up. Happy 63 fun. Yeah. I appreciate everybody that's commenting. It's awesome to see you guys doing that. I would love to know what you guys are thinking on the issue of persecution, like Christian persecution, because that is our next story. This is a teacher in I can't remember, Cathedral City High School in California. He says that he was fired because he is a Christian. I would be amazed if that was the actual reason why he got fired. But no, he got fired because he was proselytizing in class. He had material up on his walls that was, Bible verses and whatnot that, showed off his biases and was really promoting one religion over all others in a public school classroom. But of course, that's just all part of being Christian. And the persecution complex on this is just astounding. But let's see. He said in an interview, "The only thing I can think of is that I'm being harassed about my faith in Jesus Christ." Let me just stop you right there, Hudson boy. You're not being harassed at all because you believe in Jesus. There are millions and millions of people in America still that believe in Jesus, and they're not harassed on a daily basis. They just simply aren't. And you yourself are not being harassed because you just simply believe in Jesus. See, simply believing in Jesus is just believing in Jesus, not saying shit to anybody else, especially not in a public school classroom. So you're actually not just believing in Jesus. You're taking the the Great Commission to heart and you're pushing it wherever you go, because apparently that has to be a core aspect of being a Christian, and that's pushing your faith. Does that sound like any other kind of group in our world now? Hmm, I mean, sure, they're doing it in a different way. They're doing it with bomb vests and beheadings, but I think ISIS, they want a global like jihad on the whole world so that they can push their Islamism on everybody and control everybody with Sharia law and Islam and whatnot. I mean, they would come in their britches right now if America suddenly flipped to a Muslim nation. Um, but let's see. His only conflict with the school was when he was written up for questioning the principal when asked to remove various Christian-inspired quotes from his classroom. Why do I have to bring my stuff down when there are other people with gay and lesbian paraphernalia, zombie paraphernalia, communism paraphernalia that to me were not academically based, and even if they were expressions of what this district supposedly preaches about tolerance and diversity? Okay. Well, for one thing, gay and lesbian paraphernalia I don't think is religious. I mean, if you had something up there that was gay and lesbian and they associated it with like being God or being condoned by God or something like that, I can see that being taken down because it mentions God. You see, the problem here, Hudson, is the fact that um inability caliphate. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna get to the chat here in just a second, um, the gay and lesbian paraphernalia isn't a religion. Like, it's not a religion to believe that gay and lesbians should be treated equally or shouldn't feel ashamed to be gay or lesbian. So there's that. The zombie paraphernalia, there might be a zombie religion, but I doubt that the zombie posters were religious. See, the main thing here is that they're religious. You can't be promoting your religion in a public school classroom. If we had some kind of amendment on the books that said, hey, no zombie shit anywhere, then fine, you got an argument for yourself. But guess what? We don't have amendment, 30 or something, that says, no more zombie shit. Walking Dead sucks. We don't have that kind of amendment. But we do have the First Amendment, which guarantees the separation of church and state. And that is why, you were asked to take down your shit. I'd totally become a lesbian to join a lesbian church, is what George Mayer said. George Mayer. I might. Free to Jen saw the zombie dildo in the latest CC video. Yeah, definitely check that shit out. Just to kind of round this off here, I think that this guy, I mean, he's turning up the persecution complex really, really high, and I don't think that he needs to. But the reason why this is in the what's holding us back is that a lot of people don't see the issue with like the separation of church and state. Like, either they don't care or they don't think that it's important. But the issue of church state separation is spilling over into almost every facet of American life. And one of those things is like police cars putting "In God We Trust" on them. That's a violation of the First Amendment, but a lot of people don't care. There is one Arkansas, I think it's Austinville Police Department in Arkansas, has put "We the People" on there. And I think that that's a much more inclusive statement, and it really harkens back to the sentiments that we had when we had the original motto, which was "E pluribus unum," out of many one. And there's a project actually that is let's see, there's a project out there called the Original Motto Project. They're mainly on Facebook, so definitely go to Facebook if you have a Facebook and search them out and like them. I actually have all of their stuff down below in the description. So I definitely suggest supporting them. spreading the word about these church state infringements like this one. This one is very important too, because like in Louisiana, there was that one, I think it was a Buddhist kid who was actually harassed by the teacher. He was harassed by the teacher because he didn't believe in the Christian God. And so we have instances like that. We have actual precedent set for teachers harassing children over what God they believe. What place does that have in a public school system? You want to send them to a Christian private school where you got to pay money to send them there, fine. But in a public school, we shouldn't be focusing on religion because that's what churches are for. That's what the private religious schools are for. So I don't see the point in bringing it up. A lot of people have a problem with teaching about Islam in the Western civilization classes or the history classes, but I mean, Islam was a very prevalent, religion in the past, and a lot of people don't get exposed to it. So that's why they teach them in schools. You have church to go to if you want to learn about Christian history. But not only that, but Christian history is heavily like interwoven with our own personal history, like here in America, because that is one of the reasons why we left. The across the pond there, we left because we wanted to be able to freely practice our religion as we wanted to. We wanted to build a new nation that would, be for equality and all of these great things. Um, let's see. And our motto is what is yeah, Caitlin Chloe, one of my admins on the page, she says that we definitely need to push that shit, and yes, we do. Chronos Dark says, if public schools want to discuss religion, then do it in terms of history English courses in which passages are analyzed. That's how religion can be in schools, not in the context of a pulpit. Exactly, Chronos Dark. I think that it could be like part of history or part of an English lit class or something like that. Sometimes it's very important, especially in English literature, to state that because a lot of people use religious references. But if you get up in your classroom and you use it as a pulpit, if you use it to espouse one religion over another, whether that be Christianity, Islam, Judaism, anything, it's wrong, and we don't need to see it at all. Um, so I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. For those that are here watching right now, I actually was on a podcast earlier, and I don't have the link in the description below, but definitely come back and check it out. It's pretty awesome. I talked with one of my followers actually on the Facebook page, and we talked a lot about my background in religion, my how I came out of religion, how he came out of religion, and his take on the transgender bathroom issue. And it was a really good conversation. I really suggest you guys checking it out and listening to what he has to say about everything, as well as me, of course. But definitely check that out and subscribe to his channel if you like his content, because it's a little out there for his channel to be talking about religion, but he wanted it up there. He mostly talks about metal stuff, and yes, I'm going to be playing Hitman here in just a few minutes. We got episode 2 set. I don't know, it's some Italian country. We're going there to kill somebody with some bio stuff. But like I said, I appreciate everybody being here. Caitlin, I love you being here. What's the name of the podcast? It's like Billy and the Kid podcast, I think is what it is. If you search for Billy and the Kid, Godless Engineer, you should be able to find it in the YouTube search. And I appreciate everybody joining me up. If you will, go ahead and give this video a like if you like the information that I presented tonight. Let me know in the comments what I can do better or what stories you would like me to cover, what stories you think fits either what we have accomplished, what are we currently working on, or what's holding us back. If you think a story fits any three of those or possibly could, link them down below. I would love to look at it and cover it in the next episode. Is there a godly engineer is what Free Degen says. I don't think so, but I wouldn't put it past people. The godly engineer. That's what my G-Man character could be. Like, I'm the godly engineer. Gold! Woo! But anyways, I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go play some Hitman, kill some people in a very secretive fashion because atheists, I don't have morals and shit. So that's what I'm gonna go do. And I will see you guys later. Y'all have a nice night. Have a nice weekend, and I will see you guys back here on Monday.